Let's bring you an update from the sports desk. And, you know, I'm sure you can trust when I say, or rather agree when I say that the biggest match today, at least from a South African point of view, is that between the Springboks and Wales. The Boks' winter test season gets underway this afternoon. Of course, they're taking on the Welsh in what is the first of 3 matches. A lot has been said in the build-up to this clash, with the tourists' coach, Wayne Pivac, talking up Jacques Nienaber's men, of course, as you would expect them to. They are the world champions. But Nienaber was also, once again, full of praise for Wales. Now, this despite their recent struggles that saw them lose their last 4 games. For more on this, we are joined by former Springbok, Breyton Paulse. A very good morning to you, Breyton. Thank you so much for making time for us. I mean, you know, sport loves mind games. You know, sport loves where, you know, he's such a great coach. They're such great players. Don't mind the last couple of results. And then, of course, you talk up the world champions. Look at them. That's why they're the world champions. But obviously, you're trying to get into the world champions' head to make them complacent, while on the other side, you're trying to get into the Welsh side's head to say, don't worry about what it is you guys have been doing. You're not as bad as your results. The mind games. Talk to us about that.
Morena, I tell you what, you know, sport these days are entertainment as well. And so, you know, you expect a little bit more from the coaches in terms of what they're going to say. If you look at English Premier League, you know, the coaches are really open and honest on what they are on about. And I think it's slowly coming into the rugby mold as well. But the mind games will always be there, because at the end of the day, you know, the Springboks are out-and-out favourites. And Wayne Pivac, he needs to find a way to motivate his players. And I'm sure when you play the world champions as a Welsh side, who hasn't performed the last couple of months for that reason, who are under pressure, they need to kind of play these mind games. So for me, the Boks are at a good place at the moment. They have a lot of depth. So, you know, obviously everybody's expecting you know, kind of an easy win. But I tell you what, this is Test rugby. You know, the Boks hasn't played together for quite some time. And combinations, again, takes time. You know, so expect maybe a little bit of rustiness the first 20 minutes. But I think after that, you know, they will hit the straps, and these guys are so professional, and some of the new players coming in, they will give that extra energy and synergy for the team, which is really, really needed at this point. I mean, it's a sold-out Loftus Versfeld, 50,000 people expected, and I tell you what, all eyes from a South African point of view will be on that game. And again, let's not forget, it's 18 months to the World Cup, so Mission 2023 France World Cup defending champions is starting today.
Are you happy with the team? Are you happy with what Jacques Nienaber put together, considering that he's always spoken about consistency? He's always spoken about you don't go, you know, breaking what, or rather fixing what isn't broken. Are you happy with the makeup of the team?
I am. You know, and what you've seen from Jacques and his team is consistency, and also players who are really, who have played well the last couple of weeks. You know, I'm thinking of a guy like Ivan Roos, who probably are really unlucky not to be in the match 23. But then again, you have Ulrich Lowe coming in, who's gonna make a big difference. He's an absolute talent, you know. He's a young guy, and I like the way how they bring in the young guys. Salman Murat as well, coming off the bench. They're not scared to risk the young guys and giving them opportunity. So the next couple of weeks will be interesting to see what combination will be tested, but there's consistency in their team. I mean, the likes of Jason Colby's back. Good to see Makazole and Pimpi and Damien Dalende, the old foe, are back. So you want consistency. And I mean, 2 years ago, or before the World Cup, you know, there were a lot of inconsistency in this Boks side, but Jacques Nienaber and Rassie and Dion and Mzondile Stick, they've brought consistency and a real sort of calmness to the team, you know, and it's all about calmness. And I mean, I'm really, really happy to see how Sia and the boys will do today, because, you know, Sia in the Springbok jersey also is a different beast. He leads really well. He really gives the young guys confidence, and the likes of Ibn Etzebeth is almost playing his 100th test. Good to see those guys back. Elton Yank is getting a chance because Andre Pollard has unfortunately, you know, sort of joined the team late. So that's a consistency we have, and I'm really positive to see how some of the young guys who are getting opportunity will do today.
There are, you know, it's difficult to find anything wrong with the Springboks when they are sitting where they're sitting, you know, beating the British and Irish Lions the way they are, getting a win over New Zealand in the Rugby Championship, albeit, you know, in not getting the title. But it's difficult to say what exactly could be wrong with the Boks. But there will always be people who nitpick, you know, people who try and really look for how can we be perfect, where we're actually flawless. And one of the concerns that I've seen raised is not enough of the young people, the young players are coming through. Well, you have 1 or 2, you know, the inexperienced guys, but not enough of them are coming through. And this is obviously coming off the back of an incredibly successful United Rugby Championship campaign for South African rugby. How much of the, inexperienced guys with 18 months to go to the World Cup can you really blood in to ensure that you don't kill the consistency, but you're also bringing in fresh legs?
Yeah, I mean, I think the coaches know what they are doing. We've seen it time and time because, the performances speak for itself. So you have to be very careful these days, especially, a couple of years back, it was really, really difficult for players to find consistency and calmness because of, the changing of guard week in and week out. And I think what Jacques and the guys have done is that they said, guys, we're not going to make the Springbok jersey cheap. And I'm really grateful to see that, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that, players need to work hard. They need to respect that emblem. And the culture of the Springboks is one that I, as an ex-Bok, I put in high regard. So that's what Jacques and the guys have done. So, it's easy to just bring players in, but you can't just make the Springbok jersey cheap. So every player needs to wait his turn. I remember I also waited like a really, really good 3 years before I put on that jersey. And that's what you want. You want players to be hungry to earn that right and respect to be in their team. And for me, that is quite important. That's what Jacques and the guys have brought back. And if you look at some of their team, it's a good team with a good balance. And that's all that you want. And I tell you what, we're going to see some of the younger players coming through in the next couple of weeks, but they're going to have to earn their jersey. They're going to have to earn the right to play for the Springboks.
I mean, we are the 3-time world champions. You don't just go around giving the green and gold to anybody, even though they may be doing really well in a particular campaign. Breyton, we are out of time, but I would not be doing my job really well if I didn't put your head on the block. Just give me a points margin today of, I would expect you to say the Springboks are going to win. Otherwise, I don't see, any patriotism from you.
Absolutely.
So just give me a points margin. How much are we going to beat the Welsh today?
Yes, it's going to be a bit of a rusty start, but I think by about 20 points.
Oh, 20 points is beautiful. I'll take 20 points any given day. Breyton, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, I do hope from your mouth to God's ears, and of course to Jacques Nienaber and Siya Kolisi and the boys' ears as well, that we need to be getting that 20-point margin victory today. The Springboks taking on Wales. Of course, it's happening at a sold-out Loftus Versfeld. It is the first of 3 test matches against the Welsh, who have not been doing all that well. And of course, we just gotten that preview from a former Springbok, a legend in his own right, Breyton Paulse.